Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by Northville head football coach Brent Luplow. How's it going?
It's going good, Case. Thanks for having me.
No problem. So coming off of, really successful season last year in year one, first district title in 23 years. And now coming into year two, yes, some of those guys are back, but you're going to have to replace a lot of guys. And what has this summer been like? Just getting after it now in year two.
Yeah, year two's been a heck of a lot easier than year one. Um, the familiarity with just about everything and in the athletic department, in the football realm, and the parents, how things run, things like that. It's been much more comfortable year two and much more relaxed than it was year one. Um, but yeah, we lose a really good class, a lot of really good players. So we flipped the page on that, and they set the precedent, they set the tone, and they left a legacy that hopefully these guys throughout this offseason and throughout this summer understand that they can build on that and continue to be a winner here at Northville. We had a really good offseason, really good um, winter and spring in the weight room, a lot of really good attendance numbers across the board. And then this summer's been good. I thought we utilized all 15 of our days really well. We went back to team camp in Bluffton, Ohio at Bluffton University and had a good time there again and got a lot better. And they had some really good 7-on-7s and whatnot. And I think the kids got better every single time we were able to compete against each other or someone else. I think our kids got better this summer. So we are entering practice on Monday ahead of where we were last year. Obviously, a lot of holes to fill, but we feel pretty good about our schemes and where we're at going into year two.
Absolutely. All right. Time to talk about some of the returners and some of the names to watch this year for Northville. Let's start with the offense, then we'll go with the defense and then special teams.
Yeah, offensively, obviously we're replacing a really good quarterback, but only a one-year starter in Isaac Pace. He did a really, really good job locking down the offense and knowing what was going on last year and had a historic season in Northville history. So we're replacing him with either quarterback battles been all through the offseason with either Cooper Durkich, who was a junior, was on JV team last year, or Michael Saigon, who is a senior and played a little bit last year for us. Both do a lot of really good things, and both are similar in how they handle the offense and run the offense. So no one's really stepped above each other right now. I think this battle will probably last until the first week of the season, and I wouldn't be surprised if you see both this season at one point or another. Running back is a good spot for us. We have a lot of depth there. Returning Caden Kubin ended up being our number one running back at the end of the year last year. He was a surprise, and he did a really good job and ran for 300, 400 yards and a handful of touchdowns. And he's back. Max DeFore, who started our season for us as a sophomore at running back last year, tore his ACL week 4 of the season. He's back and healthy. And then Macklin Hart, who we brought up after Max tore his ACL, who was a sophomore last year as well, is back as a junior, and he's been looking really good this summer. So those three backs have been really solid for us. Receiver, we return obviously one of the best players in the league, Colin Charles. He's going to do a phenomenal job this year, and we'll move him around. We'll make sure he gets the ball in multiple different ways. He's explosive. He's been really good. And then a couple different guys battling for receiver spots as well. You're going to see a kid out there, Cole Atanasio, who played tight end last year for us and probably will play some tight end for us this year, but he catches the ball real well, and he'll be a two-way starter this year, I'm sure. So he's been doing a good job this summer as well. And then we have a handful of kids from JV last year, juniors coming up that are battling for some of those other receiver spots. On the offensive line, we return one and a half, I'd say. We return Adam Travers, who started for us at center last year. He'll play probably tackle for us this year. And then we return Anthony Testani, who started our probably 3 toughest games last year, the Belleville game, CC game, and Brighton game, due to injury. as a sophomore at guard. He's a junior now, and he will play guard for us as well. And then Haas El Zayat, he is a 3-year starter on the defensive line. He'll move over and play some offensive line as well this year for us. So, that's a question mark spot for us. And we lost Coach Treslinski this offseason as well. So we're trying to put pieces in place, but we feel pretty good about 6 or 7, 8 deep there that can help us if they're senior or junior as well. So yeah, that's the offense.
And now let's go to the defense.
Defensively, defensive line, obviously we lose some really good players there. Graham Gilmartin, who went to Butler, Ferris Jordan, who went to Lawrence Tech. Haas El Zayat will be a 3-year starter. He'll be a really good defensive lineman for us this year. He's gained some weight. He's worked hard in the weight room. He'll be there. Noah Radzewski. Noah was someone that has worked incredibly hard in the weight room this offseason, gotten really strong. Not the biggest guy in the world, but upcoming senior that didn't play a whole lot last year that will have to play a pivotal role for us on the line, and has been looking really good this offseason. Linebacking core, we lose obviously all 4 of those starters and have to replace there, but we've been pretty happy with what we've been seeing. Some good players, but some reloading happening there. Cole Atanasio, who will be a 3-year varsity player, has never started on the defense side of the ball, but he looks the part. He plays the part. Probably could have started for just about every team in our league last year at middle backer, and will start this year at middle backer for us, and he'll have a really good breakout year. I'm certain about that. Aiden Hamilton, who was with us last year the whole season, was a 5th quarter kid. Going to be a junior. He will probably be one of those inside backers as well. He's looked really good this offseason and gotten stronger. Looks very similar to some of our backers last year and how they play. Outside backer, you'll see Kubin, you'll see DeFore, you'll see some other guys that are battling for those outside backer spot, but we feel we have some pretty good depth on the outside. In the secondary, obviously Drew Rankin, 3-year starter, college level kid. He's done a great job this offseason. Captain last year, and he's the quarterback of the defense back there. He knows it just about as good as everybody else. He's done a really good job for us, and will play a pivotal role in us in the back half. Austin Magaro is a JV kid coming up, who's going to be a junior, who will be a really big piece to our defense. He's looked really good this offseason, a big, tall, lengthy safety. And then you got Ryan O'Neill, who played sparingly last year for us at corner, but played some big plays in that Novi game at Novi for us when one of our corners went down. And athletic kid, played on the state championship baseball team. We feel really good about Ryan and what he can do for us in the secondary as well.
All right. Special teams, you're going to have to replace some guys there too.
Yeah, our kicker and punter is gone to the Citadel. He's doing a tryout this year or this week to try to make their team. Sonny Rents. So we'll replace him. Got a battle going on there. Ryan O'Neill, who I just talked about, has spent a lot of time working on his kicking and punting and has done a really good job. He's been very impressive this offseason and was one of our most impressive performers at our Bluffton camp, just in regards to how well he was kicking the ball. Riker Gorman, who was a JV kid last year, also has a really good leg. So we're battling at those positions, kicking and punting. And Riker plays soccer as well as football. So we will see how that shakes itself out. But we don't have a Jake Moody, but we feel pretty good about what we have and what we can have. Very similar to last year, being able to knock it in from 30, 35 yards on field goals and be able to kick it deep on kickoffs and be able to flip the field on punts. So feel pretty good about that, the specialist positions. Absolutely. Oh, then we of course have Colin Charles, who will be a returner on kickoff and punt return, who returned 2 kicks last year, and he's explosive and he's dangerous. So having that weapon back there and knowing that teams are going to either kick away from him or if they do kick toward him, us have a chance to take it the distance when they do. That makes me pretty happy, having him and what he can do for us. So, absolutely.
All right. We talked about all the kids. Now let's go through this. I'll mention let's talk about the schedule. Of course, we'll start. I'll just read through this real quick. Of course, season starts August 29th at home against Lake Orion. September 6th at Plymouth, September 13th home against Brighton, September 20th at Canton, September 27th home against Howell, October 4th at Salem, October 11th at Heartland, October 18th home against Novi, and finishing out the regular season October 25th against a crossover team from the KLAA East, which the West teams will be hosting this year. So pretty good schedule, but you know, and you and I both know this. This is a division where, this is up for grabs this year, and well, it always is every year, but it just seems like this year everyone is it's like they've either lost a lot or have a lot of guys. So it's gonna be
Yeah,
really interesting to see how this goes.
yeah, I think similar to last year in some sense, like no one really had an idea who would come out on top, and we happened to be playing some pretty good ball, um, and we were able to do that. But yeah, just like any year in this division, and I've been a part of it for now. This will be the 8th year. Every team has dudes. Every team you have to prepare for, and they can get you if you're not ready to play. So, one thing that we're happy about is, um, we don't have to travel super far this year. 3 of our away games are at the park, so that's not a far trip for us. Heartland's our longest away game, and that's week 7 or 8 there. So some of our tougher ones are tougher compared to last year's scores or whatnot are at home. We opened with Lake Orion, which is a really good football team, and they had a really good year last year, and they return a lot. They're dangerous, and it's going to be a great game. And then we play Brighton week 3 right off the bat, and that's a rematch of our playoff game last year, and played them twice last year. And we played well at home last year, so hopefully that carries over to this year. The new stadium bleachers are looking really sharp, and it's upgrading the facility has been awesome the last couple of years with the turf and now the bleachers. And then of course Howell for homecoming, they're going to be a whole lot better. Second year in that T offense, it's just inevitably going to be better than it was year one, and so they're going to be dangerous. And then um, Novi is always a tough one, and it's always a rivalry game, but we're happy that that's at home, and we're able to play that one at home. So respect for everyone in our league. Everyone's going to be tough. Everyone has players. Everyone's going to be better than they probably were last year, and we got to be ready to go, because for the first time in a long time, especially in the West, since it's been East-West, we got the bullseye on our back. We're going to get everybody's best game, and we're excited about that, and we're excited to go to work and try to prove that we can stay on top of this league.
All right. And last thing, what is kind of preview what the next few weeks are going to look like, once we get going on the 12th, because it is absolutely go time.
Yeah, full speed ahead. It's coming very quickly. We got our 2-a-days in air quotes. We don't do a typical 2-a-day, but we'll have a big chunk of practice Monday through Friday of this next week, and get some pads on, and then have the weekend off, and spend the next week prepping kind of for the scrimmage with contact. We're going to scrimmage Saginaw Heritage again, who's a really good Division II team. They're coming back down to us that Thursday. We kind of have a more relaxed day on Friday. Then we get right into prep for Lake Orion, and that's a Thursday game. So we are going to be excited and ready to play, and as ready as we can be, and give it our best shot. And hopefully the community comes out and supports and shows up just like they did all last year. And we're very appreciative of their support, and excited to see what we put on the field this fall.
Absolutely. All right. Brent Luplow, the head football coach at Northville, thank you so much for the time, and best of luck to the Mustangs this coming season.
Thank you, Casey.